How's it going, everybody? Stop Vegeta saying, what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies, here to bring you all sorts of Dragon Ball content. If you enjoy the video or find it to be helpful, please consider leaving a like, as it does help the video and the channel to grow tremendously, and hopefully we can get this out to other players so that they can benefit from it as well. So today we're going to be going back to an equipment guide, as the title and thumbnail suggests, and we're going to be doing this for the new tag Goku and Vegeta. This is a first-of-a-kind character. So I'm kind of approaching this a little bit differently, because there's not necessarily one stat to focus on with these guys, but you are going to really want to focus towards offense. So really quickly, I'm actually going to show you guys the equips that I like using for them personally, because they're not all farmable at this current moment, and then we'll talk about some of the farmable ones real quick. So the current three that I actually like to run on this character is, first of all, this Goku equip that we can actually get fairly easily, and we'll talk about that in a minute. That's Strike Defense, Special Move, Ultimate Move, and Vanish Gauge Recovery. I think this is a very valuable equip for any Goku character, because that Vanish Gauge slot is a very rare slot to have. Then we've got this one over here, which is one of my personal favorites, which is the Mind Your Own Business Tin Man. And this one's got double offense with a pure strike attack for having a melee type battle member, which they are technically speaking, even though Vegeta is more blast oriented, so that is why we're focusing on both offenses here. And then last but not least, we actually have the Platinum equip for Sagas from the movie Purples, and that's because it is going to be giving us double offenses as well as some health restoration, which is really nice to have for these guys, considering that they're healing when they use cards. So now we'll get into some of the farmable equips, and we'll definitely take a look, because I'll say that a lot of these are probably just going to be Z-Metal and Equip Metal stuff, but there actually is a decent amount of things that we can farm via the game and events with our energy and skip tickets. So without further ado, we'll take a look. The first place we're going to head is the equipment collection, and that's because we actually have 3 battles in a row with each other that are really going to benefit from these guys, thanks to them being Vegeta family, movies, Saiyans, God Key. They just have a lot of tags, so it's actually very easy to come by stuff for them. And we'll take a look over at movies first. When we go over to movies, there's 2 in particular that I want to focus on. You could technically focus on all 3, since this one does give double offenses at 15%, though you're making fun of me. And then we've also got the No Way, which is giving double defense and health, which is really nice to have. But the one that I mainly want to focus on right now is the What Futile Efforts equip, because this one, when awakened, is actually going to be giving us double offenses and double defenses with a pure strike defense slot on the last slot. That's granted only when we do the awakened version of this equip, but I wanted to show you guys where to get the unawakened version as per usual, as hopefully you guys should know where the Ultra Space Time Rush exchange shop is at this point. Heading back over, we'll take a look over at God Key next. When we take a look over at God Key, there are, I wouldn't say as many options, but I'm primarily looking at the last 2 here. The first one being in the A Proud Warrior equip, which is going to be either giving defenses just across the board or a little bit of strike attack in the middle right there, and one of them is a pure defense for God Key battle members, so that's a nice one to have if you're running them on a God Key setup. And then I particularly like the Let's Go Vegeta, especially because the Awakened version applies to only Goku characters and can actually get you all of these numbers at a fairly or slightly higher numbers, I should say. But what I really like about this is that it's got Blast Attack and Special Move. So for Vegeta specifically, this is going to be a nice equip. I do prefer to have the Strike and Blast Attack, but having one of them in Special Move I think is just as valuable. Lastly, we'll take a look at Saiyans, and in Saiyans there's actually just one that I think is going to be valuable here, and that's going to be the This Should Be Fun equip, which is, I think as Goresh says, pretty much a staple for any ranged-based Saiyan. Because once again, we're not getting double offenses here, but what we are getting is Blast Attack, Health, and then damage to Hybrid Saiyans. I don't think I need to go into details as to why that's such a valuable slot, but having that over maybe Strike Attack or Special Move, I think it makes up for it personally, especially having the health as well just makes this an invaluable equip for them. Next up, we're going to head over to the Advent Frieza event, and there's going to actually be a couple equips in here that I think are going to be worth our time. So let's head there quick. First up, we're going to scroll all the way over to battle number 4, and this is going to be on the normal difficulty. And over here, we're going to see 2 silvers and a bronze equip. Now, the first 2 equips don't worry about, but this one over here, once you awaken it, is one of the best equips for purple melee type units. It'll give you some blast attack, strike defense, and once awakened, you're getting an extra strike attack slot on the last slot, so you can get upwards of, say, 30% on those strike attack rolls. So once again, I wanted to show you guys where to get the unawakened version. You guys should know where your Rush Metal exchange shop is. Next up, we're going to head over to the Fierce Battle Vegeta, the Prince of Fate, and this one is going to get us our next equip, which once we hop right in, it's going to be right there at the end of the normal difficulty, and we'll see that we can get the This is Kaioken equip. That's going to either be giving us a very nice little double defense and a sprinkle of strike attack in the middle, or it's going to be giving us strike defense and then some just beefy strike attack up to 30.5%, which is just some chef's kiss numbers right there for sure. So for our next one, we're going to actually head over to the Legends Road Kid Goku event. And once you're in here, once you've got this unlocked with your key, you can go over to the daily battle. And this is only going to be giving you these things right here, the souls, the Z-Power, and then the gold coins. Now the gold coins are what is going to be most important, because if we then head over to the exchange shop for this event particularly, we can head over to the equipment side and we can see the yellow, it's all up to my fist, or not the yellow, the gold, it's all up to my fist equip that we mentioned earlier that I personally like to run. So this is pretty easy to farm up as they only cost 10 medals a piece and you can get anywhere between 400 to 500 medals per day. So you can grind 40 to 50 of these equipped every single day and, you know, just hope that you get a solid slot. And with the new equipment upgrade system, once you get that red slot, it should be fairly easy to get it to an S or Z. Next up, we're going to head over to the Raditz Attacks event. And once we get over here, there's just one that I want to focus on in particular. We can scroll over to the EX battle over here. It's going to be EX number 3. And when we take a look at this equip, at first glance, it's not the greatest in the world. 5% to special move, 10% to blast damage, and 15% to Piccolo is not that great. When we awaken this equip, the numbers actually get really spicy, as that last slot changes to damage to regen. We get blast attack up to, I believe, 15%, and special move going up to 10. So I think this is definitely one that's worthwhile to farm up, and if you want to awaken, you certainly can, just for that, once again, for that special move damage, and for the blast attack damage. And then I'd say that regen is pretty common like hybrids, so having that similar slot to a tag specific one is not necessarily the worst thing to have. One that we missed in the Fierce Battle Vegeta, the Prince of Fate, is actually going to be over here, right before the battles for all the Zenkai power and everything. That's going to be EX Battle number 4 in the hard difficulty, and this is going to have the Hardia equip, which is going to be blast, strike defense, and then a pure up to 10% for strike attack, as long as you're running this character alongside a red or blue character. Now, given Sun Family movies, you know, the purple reds, blue purples, purple blue setups that I've seen a lot of people running these guys on, I think this is a pretty solid one for them, especially because, you know, pure strike damage for Goku is just going to be phenomenal for just ripping through your opponents. So now we're going to take a look at stuff that you can get with your Z-Medals, or things that you might already possess in-game. So let's scroll and take a look. The first one is the Rag equip, and the thing with this one is it was a free equip that was a free Z+, gave us strike attack, strike defense, and blast attack, and all 3 slots that were going to be maxed out at 13%. While these aren't the greatest numbers, they are solid numbers, and for people who may not be able to farm some of the better equips right now, whether it be due to resources being new to the game or something like that, having one of these is really nice to have. Now, I can't remember exactly how we got this equip. If I remember correctly, it was just a freebie that we were given last New Year's or something like that. But if I remember correctly, you were able to do it by playing through the special battles, which involved all 3 of the EX Frieza Force Saiyan Zenkais. So yeah, that's that. Hopefully this will benefit anybody who doesn't have a lot of the better options. Real quick before we look at Z-Medals once again, we're actually going to hop into the EX Beerus event right now, because there's one that I forgot about since it's not around very often, and that's why I think you should farm it up if you can. That is going to be the Awakened version of the Let's Go equip, or the Yes Let's Go equip, because this one is just nutty, giving strike defense, blast defense, and then a huge number to strike attack on that last slot, which goes up to 35% when you awaken it. And when you awaken it, rather than getting the negative blast attack stat, you're actually getting blast attack as well, even though it is going to be at a much lower number than that 35%. Next we have Boundary Breaking Vegeta, which is going to be excellent for damage, giving blast attack, special move, and a pure strike attack per Vegeta Clan battle member. So if you're running him on Saiyans or Vegeta Clan, I think this is a really solid option, but maybe not for your movies parties, just saying. In terms of defenses, you can't go wrong with the Battle of Saiyans equip, giving strike defense and then a pure defense to either blast defense or strike defense whenever they're faced with a Saiyan battle member for 15 counts, as well as health, just making this one of the more valuable defensive equips in the game. And wrapping things up, we have the Vegeta's Anger equip, giving us 15% to strike attack, 10% to special move, and 23% to blast attack. So with all that in mind, these are going to be the best equips that you can currently farm, that is. Like I said, there are definitely a couple of options that are really good, that are just not accessible at the moment, and so I just wanted to provide the best options that you can acquire at this time, as well as maybe give a little bit of insight as to what are some options that I like that you can acquire right now that maybe you can do some rerolls on that you may have sitting around your box. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you all for watching, and I really hope that you're all enjoying Legends Festival and have a very happy holiday season. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.